No, sir, in this car. Down through here, then parking.
Well, that's because they got the
See if you hear anything. I hear this one good. That one. Test.
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that one.
We'll get a little sound check here. May or may not have burned my voice up yelling about old cars all week. Oh yeah, that sounds nice. I cannot make myself not yell about old cars. All right, sounds good. We'll get started, folks. In just a few minutes, we'll present our nation's colors, national anthem, have a few local folks we want to talk to. The Hemmings Motor News Great Race, presented by Haggerty's Drivers Club. First car should be in here slated at noon, so in about 15 minutes. So we'll get started here in just about 5 minutes.
Interested, I do have some official Great Race programs for sale right here for $5. It does have photographs of all 167 registered.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get started with the festivities today. Before we get going, one of my favorite parts of Great Race, spreading the joy and nostalgia of classic cars across the country and bringing patriotism with me. It is my honor. All who are able, please rise and remove your hats for the presentation of our nation's colors. The color guard is the American Legion Post 333 and BFW Post 9362 of Sun Prairie. Thank you again, American Legion. VFW Post, American Legion Post 333, VFW Post 9362, Sun Prairie. Beautiful day here, whoever ordered the weather, thank you so much. Absolutely beautiful on the 6th stage, the 6th day of 9 on the Great Race. We're excited to be here. Before we get going, I've got your mayor, Paul Esser. Come out here and hang out with me for a minute, Paul. Man, Chamber of Commerce Day, old cars, good people as we go across America. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, it is our pleasure to have you here, and actually it's an honor for Sun Prairie to have you coming through our community. I have never witnessed this, I've never been a part of this, but I understand there are going to be cars starting to come in a few minutes, and they're going to continue to come in until 3 o'clock. And then they'll be here, people can look at the cars, they can get into the cars and look at them. That's really a significant event, and we're very pleased you chose Sun Prairie as a place to come to, so we provided the weather to make it good for you. So, it's a great deal. It's a beautiful day, it's a good summertime event. Thank you for coming here, and have a good day in Sun Prairie and the rest of your journey to Fargo. You don't have far to go now.
That's a good one. Mayor Paul Esser, thanks for having us. My friend John Loeffler, Chief Retail Officer of the Bank of Sun Prairie, come out here. There you are. You sneaked up behind me. Man, this is a perfect crowd. They'll pull down in here. You have a lovely park here. I'm going to bring a few of my friends in their cool cars here in just a few moments.
Very good. Thank you. Bank of Sun Prairie is thrilled to be here today to be a sponsor. I want to thank everyone for coming out. And Bank of Sun Prairie, we've been in the community for 125 years, and we appreciate the support, and we do what we can for our community. So thanks for being here, and we're excited to be here as well.
Thank you. Okay, so here it is, Great Race. Every year since 1983, we get together and we do a time speed endurance rally, 2,000 or 3,000 miles. Original format back in the 80s was pre-war cars, from coast to coast. Over the years, it's evolved a little bit. Old cars get newer, so now the cutoff for newness of the car is 1974, and the length of the event is 9 days. It's a Saturday through the following Sunday. It just fits the lifestyle of car collectors and people and families these days. So it's 9 days, 2,000 and something miles usually, and the route varies every single year. Coming into this year, there were 2 states that Great Race has never been into in 39 years. That was Rhode Island and North Dakota. And we, in 2014, came very close to Rhode Island when we went from Maine to Florida down the eastern seaboard, and we missed Rhode Island. And we were just poking the Great Race director and wearing him out. It became a joke that there were 2 states we'd never been to, and we missed a good shot at one of them. And so he had a clever idea of crafting a route for this year, starting 2 years ago, that would take us from one of the states we had never been to the other. And I'm super excited to be here in Sun Prairie. This has been a really interesting route, starting in Warwick, Rhode Island, where my accent stood out even more than it does here, I can tell you that much. They don't have sweet tea and they don't have Coca-Cola. It was like being on Mars, in my humble opinion as a Southern boy. But we're having a really good time checking off the last 2 lower 48 states for Great Race. Would have been to all of them since 1983, and it's a lot of fun. So the format, I won't bore you with the competitive details, but basically it's a format similar to a style of rallying in Europe where you get a set of instructions, they're graphic, you have a very precise speedometer and an analog clock and a stopwatch. You do what you're told, instruction by instruction, through a series of legs throughout the day, up to 6 or 7 legs per day. And if you do it exactly on time on a leg, you get an ace for a perfect score. If you're over or under, that score counts against you, and that's what it's all about. Low score wins, much like golf. If you're pretty good at it and you manage to come in first place, you get $50,000 cash, $165,000 total purse money. But it's not really about the money, it's about getting out on the back roads of America, showing off old cars and nostalgia, carrying history and patriotism wherever we go, and you also get a pretty cool trophy. Standing beside me here is my friend Jeff Stum. He competed for over a dozen years, and he's been our director of Great Race for the last, I guess, dozen more. He's a good friend of mine, and he works up to 3 years on each route. So he's got kind of a juggling chainsaws thing going all the time. You can imagine what the pandemic year did to kind of mess that up. The wait list grows up to 2 or 3 years at a time. During the pandemic, we've whittled it back down. I think it's right at 1.5 to 2 years. But Jeff, you're responsible for putting this pin on the map for us, and I think you did a good job. Talk a little bit about what it took to get us here.
Well, first of all, it's great to be in Wisconsin. We started in Rhode Island. We've been to Connecticut, New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, and last night we were in Illinois, and I promise you when I saw that Welcome to Wisconsin sign on the side of the road and got out of that mess down in Chicago, I was very, very happy. Very happy. It's great to be here. You know, it's been over a year, and I came into, we were looking for a lunch stop. This is the shortest day on the Great Race, other than the first day and the last day are half days. So in between, from days 2 through 8, this is the shortest of those days. We're ending early today in Wisconsin Dells. So we needed a great town for a lunch stop, and I was doing some research and I saw Angell Park, and I said that's the place. So I called the folks here in the city. They were all in, and you know, that's probably 1.5 years of process of getting this done. When these race cars come in here, and it's any minute now the first car will be arriving, we have teams from all over the world that are coming here. They're bringing, it's like we broke all these cars out of the museum and we're running them up and down the highway like we stole them. And the people from all over the world will be coming here. We have teams from Australia, France, Germany, Holland, England, Canada, all over Canada, and of course all over the United States. You'll have teams from Maine to Florida to California. So be sure to, I know you're here, it's going to be a great time. Welcome these folks to Sun Prairie, and I promise you that they will take that memory back home with them all over the world. So we are literally just minutes away from the first car.
Thank you, Jeff. He does, I don't, in my, that's why we have 2 of them. In my humble opinion, Jeff doesn't get enough credit. He works so hard for so long for each and every city, not just the whole route. As you can imagine, it's a logistical nightmare to take 500 people. That's competition staff, rally staff, the souvenir staff, myself, the competitors themselves and their support teams through 18 cities in 9 days. You know, we don't go to towns that don't want us there, right? Because it takes a lot of cooperation from the local law enforcement and the city planners to kind of figure out how to get us all in and out efficiently and safely. So we go where we're wanted, and we love to engage with everybody, but it's a lot of work on Jeff's part. Just hotels alone is a nightmare. So once the route takes shape, maybe 2 years in advance, when an idea starts to grow roots, then the work starts in earnest for him. Jeff runs the route in its entirety at least twice before it's actually mapped out by the rally master, and that's meeting with everybody to kind of iron out the details. They set up and plant the seed of a local committee in every single city, because you all have to do the work, right? We don't live here. So speaking of not living here, he asked me a while ago, whispered in my ear in between things, if I was from southern Wisconsin, and I just laughed. It's south, all right. I grew up in the state of Alabama. I've lived in Chattanooga, Tennessee for, 25 years. I'm a southern boy. But I find that when I get into this part of the country, I have the most in common. You know, on the eastern seaboard, I stick out like a sore thumb, but it feels like my people up here, we just talk a little different. Pretty awesome, beautiful countryside. I have my son with me this year for the first time ever. 12 years I've been doing this event. I finally got him in the truck with me. He's super tired of his dad pointing out the window and saying, look at that, look at that, look at that barn, look at that car, look at that old truck. He's 9, right? He doesn't have that. He's not quite as interested as I am at every little thing we pass over thousands of miles of driving. It's a lot of fun. I smoked my voice 2 days ago because I can't help but be excited about this thing. It feels pretty good this morning. Doesn't sound very good, but I feel a little bit better. I went by and begged the walk-in clinic to give me a little steroid shot this morning to see if I can make it 4 more days, 5.5 hours a day of yelling this. I can do it. I can do it.
Okay.
All right, folks. Put your hands together for this. This is an X-Cup team. These are young people as the rally staff departs to get ahead of them. The first car in, my friend Dr. Tom Littrell from Galax, Virginia, 13 years. He's been mentoring young people on Great Race in a class called X-Cup. In the car today, Rachel Griffin from Waxhaw, North Carolina. X-Cup team, 1928 Ford, little Model A Speedster. Come in here, Doc. Thank you for investing in young people every step of the way, 13 years. A whole bunch of young folks coming in here. Come on in, show it off. 1952 Hudson Hornet. This is the one car my son's been able to identify since he was 2 years old. Fabulous Hudson Hornet. Chase Soquette, Gabe Quinn, Alexis Soquette, Zach McFarland. Young people having a good time swapping out driving and navigating duties in this beautiful, fabulous Hudson Hornet from 1952. Come on in here, guys, and show it off. The exhaust is pretty spicy coming out of the back. I walked a little bit too close to it. The mighty Hudson Hornet. What a great car. This is a good scene here. The grass is beautifully green. It's not 1,000,000 degrees. And my Hudson guy that was over here, Mr. Good Hudson. Father and son out of Jefferson City, Missouri. Dan and Brad Epple in a beautiful 64 Ford Falcon Sprint convertible in their 9th grade race together. Dan and Brad, wonderful competitors, very competitive guys. Have raced a Hudson, have raced an early Ford truck. Now they're in the Falcon Sprint. Coming down the road here, very unique car in my opinion. We don't see much of these in the South, not South Wisconsin, in the southeastern United States. 1969 Saab Model 96. Brian Blood, Steve Keller out of McLean, Virginia. Check it out. This car is awesome. This is their 9th grade race. They filled these windows up with aces for their performance 3.5 times. This car has a really unique engine too, by the way. It is a Ford-sourced V4 engine. It's half of a 289. It makes a wonderful little purring sound and it goes down the road lovely. We do not have a lot of 60 Saabs in the southeastern United States, so it's a real treat to get to see that one run across America every year. That was cool. We had a couple of cars come in. We got kind of a bad scene last night. It was so trafficy. Some Illinois madness was happening, and the cars would come in 2 at a time, and then I would have to tread water for 20 minutes in between them. It was hot. Good, really super good crowd, but it was hard to get the cars in there. So took the crowd a lot of discipline to make it. It was 3 hours and 15 minutes for all of the cars to get in. I think I drank 7 bottles of water in that time. You all are troopers and you have lovely shade here. They'll come in, I think, of the 138 cars that showed up in Rhode Island. I don't have the official count this morning, but I think 120 or 121 of them are still on the road. That's pretty normal attrition. We historically have capped the race at 100 cars because it's just so hard to do this show, right? 100 cars at a minute apart is, somebody help me with math, 1 hour and 40 minutes. That's the short field, but that crazy pandemic that put the whole world on its ear, we did not have the great race that first year during the pandemic, and that created a ballooning. It inflated the waiting list so long we felt terrible. People wanted to do it and were signing up and would say, hey, it's going to be 3 or 4 years, I'm sorry. And so last year when we put it back online, and from San Antonio to Greenville, South Carolina, when we put the race back online, we let a few 10 or 20 more cars in than we normally would, and we've done the same this year, 138 cars. And we're down to 120-ish. Pretty spectacular car here. My friends, sponsored by the Stalls Automotive Collection, father and son team out of Fairport, New York, Howard, Doug Sharp, 3-time grand champions of Great Race. They are extraordinary competitors. 1916 Hudson Pikes Peak Hill Climber. Beautiful car, the mighty Hudson from 1916. Welcome to Sun Prairie, boys. Behind them, out of New Braunfels, Texas, Dan and Pat Martin in a 1948 Oldsmobile. Beautiful car in their 4th Great Race together. Husband and wife team in New Braunfels was just, oh my gosh, just a few miles up the road from where we started last year. So they had the luxury of being able to run back at home a couple of times, back and forth to home a couple of times before we got started. Dan and Pat, 48 Olds. Check those lines out. GM had it right in the late 1940s, didn't they? I can promise you this truck in its original trim was never this nice. It's a 1952 Dodge M37 military truck. Salvatore Plato Costante, Samuel Celia, his navigator from the Empire State of New York. Rookies in a beautifully restored M37 military truck. Dave Tucci put this truck together a couple of years ago. It competed on Great Race. They donated all their winnings. Not this team, but this truck donated all its winnings to a veterans group and to the X-Cup Young People's Programs. I hope these boys can do the same thing. Thank you, Salvatore and Samuel. Check that truck out. Any of you that were in the military in the late 40s, early 50s know the M37 was never that nice. I'm never that nice. That's a great truck. They've got a modern diesel drivetrain in that thing to kind of make it a little bit more manageable. I don't remember what was in M37. It's probably a big, huge a flathead 6 or a big 6-cylinder with the lowest rear end gearing that's ever been put in a truck, if I had to guess. Pretty cool. I'm trying not to get excited. You can see why my voice is fried. I'm trying to stay calm, and then cool cars show up and I can't help it. Thank you all for coming out and hanging with me today. I have not, because I got here late, I have not figured out how long it's going to take me to get from here to the evening stop. So I need to do that math. Typically, I can't stay the whole time and have to move on. But as Jeff said, this is a shorter day for us. So I'll stay here as long as I can. We'll hang out. If you see a car you like, by the way, they're not going away. You can go look at them. I guess there's a lot right there. I haven't walked over there. They'll be parked. They'll have a lunch that you all provided, be refreshed, and probably within 30 or 40 minutes, they'll have to go. They have to go rally. So as cars are coming in, they will then start going out also. The reigning grand champions from 2021, Olivia and Jenna Gentry out of Noonan, Georgia. These young ladies only been doing this great race thing a couple of years. They've racked up quite a bit of accomplishments, including winning it all last year. Sponsored by Sweet Victory Apparel, they are in the running up front this year again. 1932 Ford 5-window. Hey girls, good morning. I'm hanging in by a thread. You? Okay, high five. Olivia and Jenna sold programs on Great Race their whole lives. At 16 and 14 years old, they said, Mom, we want to do it too. They went out and won the rookie division against an all-adult field other than themselves. 14 and 16 years old. They stomped the grown folks. Their first at bat. 3 years later, they won it all. 50 grand. Put their mom, who rallies in a car, and their cousin Jody, who drives that car, put them, I think, in 3rd place, and they're perennial front runners. Young ladies are awesome. Olivia's a dirt track racer. Her sister Jenna has an apparel business in a trailer that she takes to dirt tracks all over the country and sells at the racetrack. Their whole family is race crazy, and we love them for it.
Oh, no, that's right, yeah.
While we're standing here hanging out together, I got to get my handy dandy book that tells me everything I need to know about everything. Little insider baseball. What is it? Thursday, June the 23rd. First car in this evening is at 3:10 p.m. at Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin at Chula Vista Resort. No, wait. Yeah. 310. So somebody help me figure out the math. How long is it going to take me to drive to that resort from here? Oh, it's a killer car here. Oh my goodness. This is one of my favorites. Very rare treat to see an early Chevrolet from 1916. Check out this baby grand. Your driver, Ed Habits, out of Crowley, Louisiana. Esteemed navigator, and my friend Ken Fredette from Karen Crow, Louisiana. Boy, they've been rallying a long, long time in a Model A, but look what they got today, a freshly restored 1916 Chevrolet Baby Grand. Beautiful car. Mr. Ed Habits' hometown of Crowley hosted us for lunch just like this several years ago, and they are the world champions of all time for providing great race lunch. Those fine men and women in Crowley put the hammer down. We had the greatest lunch of all time. No slight here, but I mean, who could compete with that, right? That's in rice country down there. Thank you, man. Come on in here, show it off. 1916. Well, just park it right here then. That's a great car. You very rarely, in the work that I do, I see a bunch of old cars, and I love the early Chevrolets, which is a rare treat. I think we have a 33 Chevrolet, in addition to that 16, a couple of 40s Chevrolets, and maybe 150s, and then into the 50s and 60s, there's all kind of Chevrolets and Fords that you've probably seen before. Probably have not seen a Baby Grand. Despite its name, that was Chevrolet's big touring car from 16. I know silly things. I don't know anything I need to know, but I know silly things. I know that the year after that, Chevrolet had a V8 that almost nobody knows about, 17 and 18. A wild V8. I've put my hands on one before. It was a failed project, 20 years before the Flathead Ford came out. The Flathead came out in 1932, and the revelation, if you will, our nation's colors are whopping me. The revelation for the Flathead wasn't that it was a V8, it was a mass-produced V8, an affordable mass-produced V8 in 1932. If you don't know what the Flathead Ford is, you know who Bonnie and Clyde are. They chose their car because it had a flathead in it. Be a real treat for you to hear a bunch of Flathead Fords today. There's quite a few of them produced, I know, from 1932, and I kind of forget, maybe through 1956, the Flathead Ford was produced. 53, dang it, why do I forget that? I told you I only know some stuff. 54 in Canada, in the Mercury truck. In the Mercury truck. See, I knew that part. Oh, you're messing, there's too many numbers. We're messing our team up. I thought we were gonna, I like pickup trucks. You guys like pickup trucks up here? I don't think there's anything more American than a pickup truck. We've got some neat ones in our field. Husband and wife out of Corona Del Mar, California. Driver, Miss Erin Kaplan. Her husband, Brad Kaplan, gets to tell her what to do. 9 days only every single year. They are expert division competitors. They are in the top 10. 1966 Ford Mustang. Come in and be refreshed. Erin and Brad Kaplan, the great state of California. They've done, oh my gosh, they've been rallying over a decade in that car. Mom says I need to leave about 1:30. Does that sound fair? 1:30 to get to 310 start? I don't speed, I just drive fast. How many miles is it? 57 miles. Well, up here, that's nothing, right? That's just right down the way. We've had some big hauls. We were ambitious to go from Rhode Island to Fargo this year, and normally you have, for my role, I wake up in the morning, go to lunch, and then hot rod it to the evening stop, and it's generally an hour and change, but it's been 2.5 hours every hop, so I know we're covering a little more territory per stage than we normally do. Oh, here's your chance to hear Henry Ford's V8. This may be your best chance. This will be in true stereo. It's a wonderful car here. This car was a dirt track champion in the Carolinas. My friends, Josh Hull, Trevor Stahl, Out of Roanoke, Virginia, 1932 Ford Roadster here. They put this car together, 7 great races together. They are in the top 5 this year. You guys are up top, right? Completely up top. They are on fire in their 7th great race. Let's hear that car. I've been talking about it. Nice, flying your nation's colors. Check it out. What a beautiful car. Welcome to Sun Prairie. I wish I had some cars you were going to like today. I'll try harder. Come on in here. Chad and Jenny, is it running? Or are you just in the shade? They're brilliant. Southern folks know how to find the shade. 1931 Auburn Boattail Speedster, Chad Caldwell. His lovely wife, Jenny, his navigator. Beautiful car at the height of Art Deco design. They are expert division competitors. And I'm happy to tell that they are expecting their first grandbaby this year. Oh, it's another family affair. Retired publisher of Hemmings Motor News, Jim Minetto from Valley Falls, New York. Lovely daughter, recent graduate from the Savannah College of Art and Design. Kaylee Minetto, his daughter navigating. 62 Chevy Nova, little Chevy 2 car here. Jim's done this race 13 times. Finally got last year and this year with Kaylee. Welcome to Sun Prairie, guys. With the lobster on the door, Ed Chapman out of Auburn, Maine. Talented navigator Guy McDore from Bath, Maine, 1948 Ford 4-door sedan. Those Maine boys are hardcore. They hosted us on Great Race a few years ago. We ate on the water, and I told you our whole crew, everybody included, them included, it's just right at 500 people every year, and that team fed us lobster and steak. I don't even know I don't want to get political, but stuff's expensive nowadays, right? I don't know how much that would cost in today's market. That was only 3 or 4 years ago. I know lobster's probably a little bit cheaper in Maine, let's be honest, if you know a guy. But the steak is not. And I ate my share, I'm proud to say. Oh man, this weather's perfect. I got a little nervous in Perrysburg, Ohio the other night. Commodore Perry left the heater on and it was 1,000 degrees. We were all just about to die, standing just like this. It was so hot, no shade to be had. Beautiful. Take a good long look. What Enzo Ferrari said, the most beautiful car ever designed, a 1963 Jaguar E-Type coupe. My friend Ed Overmeyer out of Ooltewah, Tennessee, has an affinity for these beautiful Jags. His navigator, the talented Mr. Chuck Flesher from the Bluegrass State of Kentucky, making some memories together. 2 good friends, a beautiful car. Thank you, Ed, for showing it off. It has a little roadster that's just as beautiful. I love the coupe design too. Look at that lovely line down the back. I don't know, because I don't know in firsthand, but if Enzo Ferrari threw a compliment out, it was probably reluctantly. He was admitting defeat at the time, that was a beautiful car design and it's timeless and it's held up. I've had the pleasure of driving a car just like Ed's Roadster, and they are just so tight. It's almost like driving a modern car. Wonderful gearbox, it gets down the road. The big long hood kind of messes you up. You know, they don't have those anymore. The big long touring hood. Spectacular variety of cars. 12 international teams. We missed our international guys during the pandemic year and last year. We had the race last year, but most of them couldn't either get out of their country or into ours, depending on the timing. So this year's kind of a homecoming for our Canada friends and our European friends. She said I had to leave at 1:30. Well, it'd be wise to set me a little timer, wouldn't it? I don't normally share this with the crowd, but why not? We're good friends. How about that color guard? That's cool. We sometimes have people sing the national anthem. I prefer we do. It gets a little trickier at lunch if sometimes it's during the week and you don't know if you can get people. It's not as anchored down, but the color guard did an excellent job presenting the colors. It's always fun. My humble opinion, we could use a big old shot of patriotism in our country, and we try to make sure we get that going everywhere we go. This is one of the cool things about having a microphone. You can say what you think as long as you can outrun the other folks. 1965 Ford Mustang, a young couple engaged to be married. My friends, Dan DiLoretto driving, Miss Caitlin Stahl navigating. Beautiful car. I was worried about them testing their soon-to-be marriage by doing this rally together until I realized Caitlin was the navigator and she'll be calling the shots all week, which is exactly how marriage goes, so they'll be fine. Come on in here and show it off, guys. Team Stolleretto, a beautiful little 65 Mustang convertible. Two sisters in their second great race, making some memories. My friends, Kathy Harper out of Jefferson, Texas, Bridget Tice from St. Augustine, Florida, where we will start the race next year en route to Colorado. 1965 Mercury Comet convertible, 3 on the tree, beautiful car. Love to see the smile on these girls' faces, really cool car. Dear old dad's got another Comet in here, we'll see in a minute. Come on girls, show it off. Pretty slick little Model A Ford here. Unfortunately, Mike Weaver and Jim Caudle broke the transmission in this car on the day before the race doing a little trial run. Mike and Jim had a little talk. We got one of the young mechanics programs out of Auburn, Indiana. And the grown folks stood around drinking cool beverages, watching those boys throw a new transmission in this car about 12 hours before the race started. Look at him. Here he is in Sun Prairie doing the thing. 31 Ford Model A, 7th great race for that team. Really cool story. Those young men really hung it out there to about almost 2:30 in the morning to get that car back on the road. 1955 Studebaker President. You seldom see cars like this nice. You'll never see one as well trialed as this car. 9th great race for this team. Miss Annegret Reichman, Uli Kamholtz out of Kirkland, Washington in their 9th great race. Come on in here and show it all. They drove 3,100 miles from Washington State to Rhode Island, burned a quart of oil in that car to start the race. Come on in here, my friends. Retired state trooper from the bluegrass state of Kentucky, Mr. Gary Martin, my best friend, his lovely wife Jean Ann, his navigator. They are nothing but experts. They're trying to win this thing every single year. They're getting real close this last year or two. I'm fired up. This is just their second year in this car, so it's not littered with aces. They filled up 2 other cars with aces, and I think that Miss Jean Ann says, you know what, let's get a new car so we have more room to put stickers on it. Come on, Gary and Jean Ann, show it off. They are always front runners. Miss Jean Ann struggled with her health a couple of years ago and had to go through treatments, and they had to get her a cool suit, and they switched to a 66 Nova with air conditioning to keep her on great race. I'm so happy her health has come back and she's back on the race doing the thing. They went back to an older car. I love it. 1957 Chevrolet, slick as you want it to be. Mr. Roger Shackett, the lovely Miss Esther Shackett out of Coral Springs, Florida, in their 10th great race together. Roger and Esther, come on in. I've been up all morning cooking your lunch. It's probably sandwiches, so maybe I should say making your sandwiches. We hope for sandwiches, honestly. The one thing about traveling this much, you need a light lunch, man. It can ruin your life. I'll never forget a few years ago, some things you probably shouldn't say, but I got the microphone. A few years ago, one of the towns put the biggest, baddest lunch you'd ever seen. Pizza, lasagna, all this stuff. Everybody wore it out. The very first fuel stop, there was 285 great racers fighting for one little tiny bathroom at the fuel station. It was hilarious. I mean, I thought it was funny, sorry. 1941 Ford truck here. Very slick truck. My friends, Eric Frankenberger, your driver out of San Ramon, California. Aaron Reed, my homie from Scottsdale, Arizona, in their 4th great race. I told these boys last year and this year it was their time. They came out swinging with a 2-second day and 4 aces out of 5 legs the very first day. They're still scratching and clawing in the top 10. Get it done, boys. Welcome to Sun Prairie. Look at that truck. That's a nice truck. From 1941. You see some 40 and 41 coupes and sedans, but you don't see a lot of 40 and 41 pickup trucks in our part of the world. Do old cars, here, teach me something. In Wisconsin, do old cars last in a field or do they rot? Like the high desert, they'll last a long time and not really rot through. In the Southeast, if you leave it outside, it's gone in 25 years. You know, you can't bring it back. Oh man, I'm glad my voice held up. Here's a legend. Way back in 1983, the driver of this car was the very first man to sign up for Great Race. He's never missed one since. Curtis Graff out of Irving, Texas, my hero, and one of my good buddies, Robert Dingus, just a pup on Great Race, only been doing it 30 years. Started way back in 1995, Mexico City to Ottawa, Canada. Are you kidding me? The wildest Great Race ever. 32 Ford, there they go. Curtis Graff, Robert Dingus, followed up by, come on in here and show it off, a 1927 Peerless S60A. Ron Martin from Tampa, Florida. Troy Smith, Hayworth, Illinois. We just breezed through your neck of the woods. We're going to keep on pressing. What a beautiful car. Come on in here and show it off. Peerless, the Fearless Peerless team, 1927. 1916 Hudson, this is a legendary Great Race car. Brad Phillips out of Maryland, Dan Stahl out of Michigan. These boys get to pilot. They are the current Great Race caretakers or liabilities for this car. Brad Phillips, my friend, how was your day?
Well, we started off by losing a fuel pump, and then we missed a big turn, and then we left on one other guy's minute, but he was real cool about it, and it's been kind of one of those days. But I've never been to this town before, and it looks beautiful, so I can't wait to eat lunch here.
So what he just said, I'll translate. That's a normal day in Great Race. Everything went wrong, and the day is beautiful. Check it out, folks. Brad Phillips, Dan Stahl, 1916 Hudson. That is a legendary Great Race car. It's been in the game for a long time. Gone to the Stahl Automotive Collection, and now here it is. All original. One of my favorite cars in the race. It wears all of its life just like I do on my skin. All original 1969 Ford Galaxie XL GT. Aiden, John Schretzmeyer from Belle Terre, New York, father and son team. Check it out. This car was ordered with a 4-speed. Pretty cool. And a 429 big block. I absolutely love this original Survivor. Thank you, John and Aiden, for bringing it out for the second time on Great Race. 429 big block, 4-speed. Get out of here. That's a perfect car order. 8 Great Races together for Larry Tribble and Rock Rookie. Beautiful 1955 Chevrolet 210 out of the Constitution State of Connecticut. That's a nice little car. They put that car together for a rally we did from Minneapolis, St. Paul, all the way down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico in Mobile, Alabama. It was a really good rally that got hotter and hotter and hotter as we went down. I think with about 3 days to go, about this equivalent day of the race, we woke up in Memphis, and when I walked out of the hotel, my glasses fogged completely over. I was like, yeah, we're in the South. It was so hot. Here comes dear old dad of the girls and the little Comet. 1966 Mercury Comet Cyclone convertible. Sean Lednick out of Jacksonville, Florida. Harvey Lednick from St. Augustine. Come on in here and show it off, boys, in their 4th Great Race. 2-car team, family affair. St. Augustine to Colorado Springs. That's our path next year. That's going to be really cool. St. Augustine, Florida. If you've never been, I realize we're pretty far from there. Here, it's a really interesting historic city in Florida, and I like old Florida. I like all of Florida, but I really like old cities in Florida. One of 12 international teams, my friends. These mechanics are experts on early English cars. This is not an early one. This is just an English car. J-Lo Lomas from Manchester, England, your driver on the incorrect side of the car. Martin Greaves from Oxford, England, your navigator. My friends in a 1966 Aston Martin DB6 Mark I. Welcome to Sun Prairie, boys. Love these English chaps because no matter how aggravated they get, they're just so polite and you can't get mad back at them. They're lovely. He said even when he was having to come apart, people just were so intrigued by their accents that they would just be still helpful. You know, he's a brilliant mechanic. particular specialty in early Riley race cars, of which we happen to have one in this race. On top of where now?
On top of the hill by
I'll get it in 1967 Pontiac GTO convertible. My friends, Mary and Ted Stahl from Grosse Pointe, Michigan. They are fantastic supporters and participants in the great race for many years. We love them so much. They have a beautiful collection there of cars and all sorts of memorabilia. And they bring the whole family on the race. Got 3 or 4 or 5 cars in this year. Again, Mary and Ted Stahl, 1967 Pontiac GTO. Mr. Ted's one and only chance to tell Mary what to do 9 straight days and not incur a penalty. So that gentleman told me something cool. I'm glad we're in God's country again. He said they had both Coke and Pepsi up on the hill and cold beer. So head on up there. Yes, is there food too? Yep, food, beer, Coke, and Pepsi. It's the gamut. Mother and daughter team here. Let me tell you real quick, I've got a second. Anna driving the car, Miss Anna Holder out of Seattle, Washington. This is her lovely daughter, Della. This is 3rd race for Anna. She inherited a Model A from her grandfather and went out and just like, what am I going to do with this thing? Got plugged into some car clubs and groups. They got the car together. She came and did great race, and it was epic. It really was. It was epic for us, too. She loved it so much. She went and got this 64.5 Mustang, threw her daughter in the car. 2 races, right? You guys have done 2 races. This is her 3rd race. Anna's message is, if you're into old cars, if you see that and say, hey, that's cool, but I could never do that, that's nonsense. Get the car. There's a lot of men and women that'll help you get where you need to be. Trust me, they're just can't wait to pour into you and to help you. We all are stuck with this useless knowledge, right? Unless we get somebody, much like Anna, needed some mentorship and some help. Now she's spreading the love now. I love that story, Anna. Della, 1964.5 Mustang. There's no excuse. That's the short answer. There is no excuse. Of course, they keep running the price of old cars and trucks up. That might be a little bit of an excuse, but I'm sure your grandmother or grandfather will help you out. 1964 Morris Mini Cooper S, another car with incorrect steering wheel placement, but I won't fault them for it. This car qualifies as overhead bin storage in most major airlines, and I love it. Don Racine, Jamie Steer, 64 Morris Mini is a real race car. These are vintage race guys. They had to make it road worthy to come do great race. It'll go back to vintage racing. Lovely little, what are those, 10-inch wheels, little mini lights, truly mini lights. John Racine, Jamie Steer, sponsored by Geo Ripper, really cool, small trenching, gas-powered trenching device. They have a great sponsor and a killer car. I can't thank them enough for bringing it out. At the end of this race, I gave you a little bit of history of where we've been and haven't been. It just so happens this will be the only car that will have been in all lower 48 states on Great Race at the end of this event. 1929 Ford Model A, father and son team, Taylor and Todd Merrill out of Georgia. Another killer Model A. Check out the body on this car. Ford Riley Racer from 1930. Keith Wallace, Rick McIntosh out of Lockport, New York. My friends, this car looks brilliant. You guys don't look so bad yourselves. 4th great race. The first few days, they had lots of friends in Erie and Binghamton and at Alfred State. Come on in and show it off. I've been up all morning making your sandwich for you. Yeah. He said I was going through puberty, cracking on me on my voice. I'll get you back. It's all right. My wife, my beautiful wife back in Tennessee with my daughter and the puppy dog, she had the honor of singing at the little pro soccer game last night, singing the national anthem. She sings. She's very talented. So she had a big thing going on last night. I have this little great race thing going on all day, every day. And I texted her in the evening and said, I'm spent, I can't talk, I'm not going to call you. And she texted me back, you should go get a shot. I'm like, what? Steroid shot, it'd probably help you muscle through. So I did that this morning, went to the walk-in clinic, tried to skip all the sick and said, hey, just give me a shot if you don't mind. And they seemed perplexed until they heard me talk. Then I got my shot and I was on my way to Sun Prairie. So hopefully I can cool off here in a little bit. muscle through to the end in Fargo. I told you I like pickup trucks. In my opinion, this is the most beautiful truck ever produced in the United States. A 1946 Hudson pickup. It's not a cut-up hot rod. This is how they look. It's absolutely gorgeous truck. Neil Soquette out of Connecticut, Jack Kotzer out of Illinois, in this beautiful 1946 Hudson. 6 races for this truck. This is Jack's first race. Come on in here and show it off, boys. 46 Hudson. Look at that truck. It's so wild. You guys might have seen some more Hudson pickups up here. There are none, 0 to be seen in the southeastern United States. Very, very rare treat of any deal. Okay, come over here and tell me what we got up there. Who's doing? Tell me what's up there and who's doing it. Hold on. You got food, drink, beer on top of the hill. Beer and soda in the center, right in the middle of all the cars. Please, you get tired of hearing my gravelly voice, go check out the vending up there, right up here near the fire hall. Hemmings Motor News, title sponsor of the great race. 1969 Chevrolet Chevelle, ordered properly with a big block. It's a super sport. It's a convertible. World-class driver Dylan McCool out of Fayetteville, Tennessee. Roland George out of Shaftesbury, Vermont, his navigator. They are rookies, but not rookies to the car game. Check this beautiful car out, folks. Dylan has a big following on YouTube. You need to check him out. There is no telling what kind of videos coming off of this great race. Dylan McCool and Roland George with Hemmings Motor News. Pretty rowdy Chevelle. Anywhere else, that car would be the star of the show. It's just one of 120-ish cars today. It's pretty crazy. What's the temperature out here? 80? Oh my gosh, my phone just answered me. I mean, my watch did. Sun Prairie, 81. I'm pretty good at that game. I like doing that game. Hey, sir, thank you for your service, by the way. Don't ever be ashamed or pass up a chance to thank your first responders, law enforcement, our nation's military. My goodness gracious, I go to work, I'm worried about paltry things. These men and women worry about coming home, right? Maybe they don't worry about it. Maybe they just go do their job like they should. That's awesome, but don't pass up a chance to thank them for it. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Oh, that's lovely. Miss Sister McCrae here, by the way. Tom McCrae, her brother, started this thing in 1983. Sister's been hanging out with us this whole time. We still bring her. She's the honorary den mother of this wild event. She knows how it should look and how it shouldn't look. We love having her around. She still works in a souvenir tent. Oh, man, look at that wild car. What was that, a Darren? What was that car? Oh, my goodness, it was beautiful. Comes a little great race car here. Father and daughter team putting on a heck of a show this year in their 5th great race. Check out this killer 1934 Ford Indy Racer, the Bonalite Special. Your driver, Catfish, Navigator, Banana. You guys are on fire this year, huh? Yeah, you're doing good work. I've been following you. Welcome to Sun Prairie. Beautiful car, flathead Ford from 1934. Catfish and Banana. Father and daughter team. Shanna Banana is from Greenville, South Carolina, where we ended last year. I think that's always special when the great race is such an epic event when you end and you don't have to then travel anymore. She was just home. That's pretty cool. Oh, very nice here. From 1968, my personal favorite of the F-bodies, Camaro Super Sport 354 speed car, very, very original car. Probably had a repaint somewhere in its life. Ken Kiley is your driver out of Canyon Lake. Mike Roberts from San Antonio, Texas, these boys. Check out this car. I offered him $2,500 at least 6 times last year for this car. He never once took it. He barely even talks to me anymore. No, I'm just kidding. Go on in there and show it off, boys. Fine Texas boys and a great little Camaro. So everybody's checking out the cars, and I definitely invite you to do that. But don't forget, we have our souvenirs over here. We have a really cool program that does a much finer job than I do of talking about all the cars and teams and where they're from. $5 program. Our marketing team does a great job there. Really cool t-shirts and hats. If you're into hats, I don't know if we have pins or not, but the hat will hold a pin. I'm wearing one of the hats. I get my one hat every year. Those young ladies we talked about earlier, their mother pilots this car. Cousin Jody drives this car. They are awesome competitors. 1932 Ford Cabriolet. Please welcome Jody Knowles from Tyrone, Georgia. Miss Beth Gentry from Noonan. Beth and Jody are awesome competitors. Beth used to rally that little Ford with her dad. Her dad passed away in 2010, I think. So she got her nephew Jody to get in the car into Pop's Passion, and they've competed so hard. They won the thing finally in 2017, I believe. And then their girls hopped in the car, and they're also won the thing. So that family's on fire with road rallying these days. The first entry from 3Gen Racing, 1934 Ford pickup truck. Patrick Lauber out of Mansfield, Ohio. Ron Smith out of Angell Park, Florida, your navigator. This is a 2-car team. This is probably my favorite. It's a little 34 Ford pickup truck, little B model pickup. Come on in and show it off, boys. Got a couple of my friends around the corner waiting on you. Legendary great race car, and a legendary car in its own right, a 1917 Hudson Super 6 Speedster. Doug Wildrick from Shelbyville, Indiana. Jesse Jameson from New Fairfield, Connecticut. 5th great race for this car. This car has a long great race history. I think these boys are doing it proud. Look at the wonderful colors and lines of a 17 Hudson Super 6 Speedster. Okay, well, oh, my friends aren't over here. The 16 Hudson's a pretty popular car because it was immensely reliable. Had a pressurized oil system, and a balanced crankshaft was new for the Super 6, the balanced crankshaft. So that was a big deal in the teens for the motor to be able to, I guess, spin a little freer, a little higher RPM, a little more balance. Motors in the teens had lots and lots and lots of rotating mass. All the steel, all kinds of heavy metal in there. Hudson did a good job of making the cars more balanced and reliable. Kind of took a quantum leap forward in 1916, making them a big deal then, but an even bigger deal now when you're looking for an older race car. 10 or 12 or so that are out or wounded. I think we have a local personality, maybe going to jump in and guide you guys through the rest of it. From Bend, Oregon, my friends Tim and Marlene Mangan, 1965 Ford Fairlane. They drug this car all the way to Rhode Island to do this rally, and they're going to work their way all the way back to the great state of Oregon to Bend. It was a stop for great race. Tim and Marlene, come on in. Really slick little car. 65 Ford Fairlane. From Baltimore, Maryland. That's where Brad Phillips is from, not far from there. Doc Littrell, ex-Cup mentor and champion, 28 Ford. He's leaving, so now you can start to see the two-way cycle. Their instructions would have told them at the last checkpoint to come here to eat and be refreshed, but it's really they have to come here, but it's about being at the restart, wherever that is, on time. So I can't say how long they're going to be here because it depends on how quickly they got here each, but about that amount of time. My friends out of the Green Mountain state of Vermont, Terry Riggs, Steve Boutan, 1959 Volvo PV 544. What a great little car. 6 races in that car. They've done a bunch of other long distance rallies. 1959 Volvo, probably haven't seen one of those today. 1956 Continental Mark II, beautiful car. Darrell Hill, Bill Wallace out of Topeka, Kansas. That's 5,200 pounds of awesomeness, if you ask me. That's a beautiful car. $10,000 in 1956, by the way. You had to be somebody. You probably built your first house in 56 for about 10 grand, maybe even less. That was a big boy car in 1956. I think it's a big boy car today. I've had some interesting questions this week. You should know that the newest car is 1974, the oldest in this year, 1916. The cars that are open, no fenders, open top roadster cars, if it's hot, they get hot. If it rains, they get wet, etc. They're hardcore, I like to say. They like to see the back roads of America up close and personal. We see a little 69 Saab. Listen to the little V4 purr. What a great car. See you boys. McLean, Virginia. That's over close to, I think, Langley. Big M37. New York team. Father and son out of Michigan sneaking in here in a 1941 Packard 120 coupe. It's a convertible. It's supercharged. Father and son Brett Stahl, Noah Stahl out of Grosse Pointe Farms, Michigan. Young Noah going to McPherson next year for automotive restoration. We're pretty excited about that. Welcome to Sun Prairie. Little Packard convertible. Show it off. My goodness, that car is amazing. Oh my word. Get your mind right for this. This is insanity. A 1918 American LaFrance Speedster. Jay Reinen from Ottertail County, Minnesota. Chris Brungart from Fargo, North Dakota. Check this car out. This is a beast. A 1918 American LaFrance. They're going home. As the closer we get, the rowdier it gets. This car, huge cubic inches, 4-cylinder, makes wonderful noises. It's teeming, it's bristling with excitement, double chain drive. They put on quite the show everywhere they go. I'm glad to see this car up and running. This is not Hollywood special effects, folks. This thing slings grease and oil everywhere. It wants you to feel the experience. Come on in, show it off. The wandering troubadours of Finland. That car is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. They have a lot of fun everywhere they go. It also burps and hiccups and all of those things. I can't hear myself when they come up to in front of me, so I just keep talking and hope it works. That's an amazing car. They brought some cool cars over the years. They had a 31 Rolls-Royce shooting brake. They had an Auburn race car from the 1930s. But the American LaFrance is definitely the crowd favorite. They keep bringing it back. It's so much fun. It's rowdy, it's big. It makes about 50 horsepower and about 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. You know, it's insane. The flywheel probably weighs as much as a small block Chevrolet short block. That car started giving him a fit a few days ago. You can hear a little harmonic chirp there. They thought that the old girl might be wounded, but it's still powering down the road. Very, very low gears, all the torque. That was the original hot rod, by the way. You would take a fire truck back in the day, and you'd take all the fire truck stuff off of it, put 2 bucket seats on it, and you had a race car. A LaFrance Speedster, that's exactly what that is. It is a period correct Speedster. So, you know, nothing made a bunch of horsepower in the teens, so if you could get a hold of a big engine, if you will, If you just throw all the junk in the garbage and strap 2 seats on it, then that was a poor man's hot rod. So there it was. Howard and Doug Sharp, 16 Hudson. Have a good day, boys. Olivia Jenna Gentry, 1932 Ford. Go get us an ace. The boys out of Virginia flying your nation's colors. Josh Holt, Trevor Stahl, they're on fire. 1949 Cadillac sneaking in here. Steve Haas, Mike Haas, very distant cousins to a guy named Haas. We're not sure if it's Formula One or CNC. Steve and Mike, my friends, 1949 Cadillac Sedanette Coupe. You might be thinking they're Haas boys. Oh yeah, you're still Haas boys. Come on in here, show it off. They're brothers making memories in their very first great race. Behind them, 1971 Toyota Celica. Dan McNaughton out of Oro Medonte, Ontario, Canada. Kill McNaughton out of Edmonton, Canada. This little 71 Toyota Celica, I was like, hey, you don't see a lot of those. He said, yeah, this is one of 20 in North America. So it's actually a wildly rare car. Come show it off, boys. Another Canada team sneaking here behind us. This is a Canada Pontiac Parisienne from 1964, essentially a Chevrolet Impala. Arnie and Lynn Stevens out of Canmore, Alberta, Canada. Thank you for bringing out this lovely car. 1964 Pontiac Parisienne. So Impala and Pontiac clothing, and I think it's the neatest car you'll see. Charles Brockway, Chuck, out of Kimberly, Idaho, has brought both his kids out. Young Colin is navigating today. 1941 Ford Deluxe Sedan. It's a family team in their very first great race. They have a brilliant car and a lovely family. I hope you guys are making some great memories this year. Check this car out. All right, here's an X-Cup team. Whole bunch of lovely ladies in this car. Mercedes Lilienthal out of Portland, Oregon. Mallory Henderson out of Denver, Colorado. Kinsey Wilson from Belmont, North Carolina. And Sabra Cook from Indianapolis, Indiana. This is an X-Cup team, an all-girls X-Cup team, and a 66 Mustang put together by the RPM Foundation. Come in, girls, show it off. I got quite a few friends around the corner. As departs the Martins from Kentucky and their 32 Ford. Here's the thing. Let's talk about them. The girls can't hear me now, I think. The girls had some trouble with that Mustang the other day, and all those little boys from Auburn, Indiana, that are mechanics and young men, yeah, they wanted to fix that car bad, super bad. Lightning quick location service. The girls, I have to ask them, part of the delay, there are actually, I think, 6 or 7 girls, including a young lady from the New York Times embedded, that are swapping out driving and navigating. The one girl in there is a professional race car driver, like a traditional race car driver. Mallory, who's driving for 2 or 3 days, is actually a former X-Cup great racer, then raced with her dad a few years. Unfortunately, we lost her dad to cancer about 3 years ago. She has graduated Auburn University and moved to Denver, works in aerospace. We talked her into coming and jumping in an X-Cup team with some young people. It's really, really cool. All girls X-Cup team. The RPM Foundation administers our, thank you, sister, I love you. I'm glad somebody's worried about me because I don't eat and drink enough, so if somebody doesn't make me do it, I would probably fall out. RPM Foundation manages the not-for-profit for our scholarship for the X-Cup teams, and they did a good job putting that specific team together. 1973 BMW 2002, that's 2002. Wonderful car. Craig Amundsen out of Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Forrest Flint out of Edina, Minnesota. We'll be getting pretty close to some of your people this week. Restored this car as a TI Alpina. The car's nickname is Emily. It is a known car in the enthusiast group for 2002s. It's a brilliant little car. They're rookies, but they've chosen a wonderful road car. I like the little Bimmers from the late 60s, early 70s. Those Auburn boys put that transmission in this Model A, and it does what it's supposed to do.
Mike Weaver, Jim Caudle, longtime great racers, very slick little hot rod Model A. It's scored as a 32. If you're wondering why a Model A has a flat head, it's fine. Cool little hot rod. 1916 Chevrolet coming out of here. Absolutely a rare treat, Mr. Ed Havitz. Have a good day, man. So that car had a big, huge top that went all the way to the back. They modified the bows so that it had kind of a little half top. 41 Ford pickup truck. Eric and Aaron are on fire this year. We're rooting for them to stay up at the top. This race gets harder as we go, folks. Not only does the technical directions of the competition get more complex as you go, culminating in the final 2 days referred to as championship days, the rallying gets harder, but you get more fatigued. The days wear on. If you're, in their case, they've been doing it 4 years. If you're up at the top, your mind starts playing tricks on you. The way rallying works is the navigator has to account for lost time constantly. If the instruction says go 30 miles an hour until a minute duration or until a waypoint, if anything happens and you lose time, you have to calculate that and make it up. So you're not going 30 anymore, you're going 31 and a half. It's extremely difficult. It's not difficult to get out there and have fun. It's very difficult to be the best at it. So those boys have been doing a little bit better every year, and I'm just really cheering them on. Many of these teams, they break through, they kind of figure out how to be great at it, but doing it 9 consecutive days, think about 100, it's not too bad right now, but for those folks that don't have air conditioning, the day gets long in a hurry, right? They're pounding waters, trying not to lose time. They go on and off the clock probably, 6 times a day. So they have fuel breaks and that kind of thing. It's not torturous, but it requires a lot of focus, and you can't give up down the stretch. So we try to be encouraging to those guys, especially the ones that are, they're trying to do even better every year. It's a pretty epic event, pretty epic undertaking to go across the country in an old car while trying to compete and also enjoy the scenery and all of that. Somebody asked me the other day, how much y'all spending on gas? I don't know, but it's a lot. It's $5 a gallon. Well, I don't even know. What is it here? Is it more than that? Down in Tennessee and Georgia, it's about $4.29. And I didn't realize I thought that was high until I drove, from Rhode Island over here. If you can get it in the 4s at all, you're lucky. That's unfortunate, but we'll do the thing. We're going to drive old cars. Colin, how you doing? You soaking it up? We need to get you a program. I will have to take these cards. We'll get you a program. There's one over here. Oh, we've got one over here. Colin's going to give it a go. Listen, just hello, my baby, like the frog in the cigar box. Just do that. It'll be fine. These old cars really, I don't know if anybody wants to hear any of the mess that I say, but they get to see the cars. The cars come in, they're on break for 30 minutes, and then they got to get back out and do the thing. $5 programs, you can have your own, by the way. A table right here, t-shirts and hats. Not sure how much those are. I think 15, 20 bucks and up. That's a lie. No, I'm just putting in some air conditioning.
Are you taking the microphone with you?
You know what they're going to do?
Yes, I just got right down there. Yeah. Are we doing it now?
No, he's not. You should give him the line. Okay. Well, you're going to be the guy with the microphone. You don't need pros.
Oh man, come over here and show me what you got. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. 60 what? 2 or 4? 64? stuck in that configuration. Thank you for sharing that. I love to see everybody's cars. Everywhere we go, it brings out cool cars, cool car culture, and cars are like a medicine that helps us all get along a little bit better. Check this out, wild, custom 1930 Ford Boattail Speedster. Peter Brown, glad to see you in the game. Susan Nurse out of Freeport, Maine. The siren is the, I guess, how should we say it, Susan? That's your swan song. She's recently retired as police chief in Freeport, so they put the siren on here. So long, farewell. Come join the great race every year from now on. I hope so. Check it out. Check out the cool body on this car. It's a wild custom body. Behind them, a rare treat, in my opinion, a 49 Packard station sedan. Jan Gale, Ross Gale, out of the great state of New Jersey. It's a father and son team. They call themselves best friends, making memory in a truly unique body style Packard from 1949. The station sedan, a little bit woody, a little bit station wagon, but it's not a wagon, it's a sedan. Really cool car, bucket list item for them. Great races, bucket list item for sure. Pretty close to where I grew up in Sylacauga, Alabama. Deborah and Ed Foster from Buzzard's Roost. Sylacauga, the Indian word for Buzzard's Roost. Deborah and Ed Foster been with us 3 great races in this beautiful 1940 Ford Tudor sedan, 2-door sedan. I'd say in my Tennessee estimation, 120 gallons of product fits in this particular model Ford. Come on in here, it's the midnight run, folks. Who was that? Oh yeah, we're looking, the Wandering Troubadours of Finland, 1918, American LaFrance, PP'd oil and grease and all sorts of stuff down here. Chad, Jenny, have a lovely afternoon. That car's killer, isn't it? You don't have to like old cars to like that one. That's a special car. They raced a Speedster Auburn from 1930 or 31 years ago. Chad has a collection of Chrysler letter cars, but they have affinity for Auburn. You know, it's a 100 horsepower car in 1931, which was a big deal. They're literally twice the horsepower of a Ford Model A and probably, I don't know, 3 times the money. Auburns were not cheap. One of many orphan marks that the Great Depression sort of wiped off the face of the earth one way or another. Auburn's very, very cool cars. It's a real treat. Auburn, Indiana has a museum where you can see Auburn's Cords and Duesenbergs all together. If you put Chad's car in there, you wouldn't even know it wasn't a great race car. 1948 Ford Coupe. This is the overflow of the Auburn X Cup teams. Connor Miller, John McCullough, and another car from Auburn, Indiana. These young men, part of the crew that helped work on that Model A the other night. Welcome the Sun Prairie boys, early V8 Ford and Natmus, their sponsor. Check it out, 1948 Ford Coupe. I'd say this is a 65, 80-gallon model Ford from the 1940s. That's how much product capacity. I'm just picking on you. Come on in here and show it off, boys.